honest with you. I know people that are so comfortable in their relationship because they're comfortable with themselves. See, you can't be comfortable in a relationship if you're not comfortable with yourself. That's a reality. If you're in a relationship and you're not comfortable with yourself, you're going to ultimately push that energy on your mate.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. And today we here with another topic. Today's topic is actually dope. And you know, I want a lot of engagement. I want my ladies calling in today. I want my men calling in today. The call number today is 516-246-5172. And I'm going to tell you why I want you guys to call in today. Today's topic is, are you really satisfying your mate? Right? And I want to talk about this. It's not just sexually, it's emotional, it's mentally, it's all around the board. Today we're talking about, are you really satisfying your mate? We're talking about it today. So let's get this call-in number. This is for people that's in relationships. If you aren't in a relationship, you really can't add on to this today, right? This is about, are you in a relationship? And you could talk about a past tense relationship with your ex. You could talk about how the person didn't satisfy you. So today we're talking about, are you really satisfying your mate? And again, we're not talking about just sexual. We're talking about emotional. We're talking about mentally. We're talking about everywhere around the board. The call-in number today, guys, is 516-246-5172. Listen, today's a good topic. You know, I'm going to talk about some of my past relationships. And that's what we're gonna go based on that. If you're in the current relationship right now where you feel like you're not being satisfied, call in and talk about it, right? This is what we need to do. I've noticed in most cases, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of men tell me that they're not allowed to feel in relationships, right? And once they do feel, the person gets very upset when they tell them how they feel. They say that a lot of women, I'm asking you women, they say a lot of men say that women make everything about them. They said every time they want to express how they feel, the woman automatically flips it on them. So I'm asking you guys, is this true? Or is the men lying? They say that a lot of the times, and I've done my survey and my poll in my Instagram, I asked a lot of men, I said, do you believe that every time you talk to your woman, she listens to you, or do she make the argument about you? So it's basically like deflecting. The moment you tell her how you feel about her, she always bring up something to accommodate what you've done. So that's how she don't really hear you. So let's call in with this number, guys, 516-246-5172. Someone call me in with a story. Let's get this thing rolling. Someone tell us that it's true. It is true. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've dated people like that. I'm not going to say everyone is like that, but I'm definitely going to say I've dated people like that, where when dating them, anytime you try to express yourself, they always make everything about them. So the moment I'll go to her and say, look, I don't like this, she will bring up something to basically offset what I'm trying to tell her is wrong in the relationship. So I've noticed that became like a pattern. Every time I would express myself, she would bring up something from the past to accommodate how I'm feeling now. And it became like a constant battle. And and I was like, yo, this is crazy. So basically, in other words, I'm not allowed to feel. Ladies, I'm going to give game right now, right? And I want my men that's on my live to agree or disagree with this statement. If a man doesn't feel comfortable with telling you how he feels, even if it's about you, he's ultimately going to lose interest in the relationship. A lot of the times women say that men are cheaters, and there are a lot of guys that are cheaters. But sometimes before, just like you guys emotionally check out, men can emotionally check out too, especially when he feels like he's not being heard. Women, I understand you guys leave because you feel like you emotionally check out. Men emotionally check out also because he's telling how he feels, or he doesn't feel the way he's trying to express himself is being heard. And the conversations of all conversations is everyone wants to be heard. And when you don't feel like you're being heard, you automatically lose interest. So not all men are bad like cheaters. And I always say this. I've met men who were like pushed to start cheating because the woman started devaluing them to the point where they started entertaining other women. Yes, he should have walked away. But again, sometimes when your heart is somewhere invested, it's easier said than done. Let's call it what it is. You know, sometimes you be like, oh, the guy should have just left her, but your heart might be invested. So therefore, he doesn't just walk out, right? And I'm telling you, a lot of times, a lot of men tell me they don't feel appreciated. They really don't. I'm gonna just talk live, and a lot of people are gonna take this personal. This is not a man or a woman debate. This is just a conversation we're having. Anybody that want to call in can call in and tell me their opinion. 516-246-5172. 516-246-5172. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the times when you talk to women about how you feel, they do make things about them. And I've seen it in all my last relationships to the point where my feelings kind of felt like it was negated. But yes, I've made poor choices. Yes, I've done things wrong. But I'm going to be honest with you. The moment you and a person move on from something you've done wrong, that does not allow you to always bring it up in an argument to basically defend or deflect what we're going through at the current moment. I think that is very immature. Look at this narrative. Let's say my girl just did something wrong to me, right? And now I'm telling her you did this wrong. You can't bring up something from the past to try to offset or to accommodate the issue that we have now. To me, that is very immature. And I've noticed that that's become the communication between men and women. A lot of the times, women are very emotional. We have to learn logic. And I'm not trying to diss my ladies again. I love my ladies. But we have to learn logic, right? Oh, yeah, I did that, but guess what? 6 months ago, you did that. Come on, that's crazy. That's like children in the playground. You can't do that, because if you've decided to move on at the moment of problems and turmoil, you have to make a choice. Ladies, if you choose to move on with whatever he's done wrong, you cannot keep bringing up the past to accommodate the relationship. When you decide to move on with the person, you automatically have to be willing to forgive. If you cannot forgive, then it's time for you to move on. And that's reality. You shouldn't be saying, oh, you've done this, so guess what? I can do this. Or you've done worse. That's like very immature. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I've noticed, like in my past relationships, that was a regular occurrence to the point where I wasn't allowed to be expressive, to the point where I stopped speaking. Ultimately, I stopped speaking and then I started talking to another female. And when I initially started talking to the female, it wasn't about sex. It was actually about me being able to vent. Men go through a lot. And the fact of the matter is, in society, they tell us that we're weak if we express ourselves. So a lot of men are going through a lot of mental trauma, a lot of psychological trauma, because they're not allowed to express. And the moment they express, and I hate to say this, a lot of the times the women learn things personal about men. When they get mad, they use it as ammunition against them. And I've noticed that a lot. I actually been through that many of times where I've told personal things about my life to my mate. As soon as she get mad, she brings it up. Now, how immature is that? I just told you something personal. I'll give you one of my personal traumas. And this is a story. I'm not going to tell you what girlfriend, what person it was, but we're going to just say this scenario. Growing up, I didn't grow up with my father, right? And the fact that I didn't grow up with my father, I had a lot of psychological issues, like very aggressive and very angry because of these things. So one day, my father's brother's wife reached out to me and was like, yo, I think you should, get in contact with your dad. So I said, no problem. At first it took me, I was hesitant. I was like leery. I was like, nah, I don't think I should do that. But then eventually she convinced me. Anyway, I called him. We had a great conversation. Eventually we decided to meet up. And when we decided to meet up, the girl at the time I was with, she came with me. It was very emotional for me because I didn't really know what to expect, because I've drawn conclusions about my dad in my mind, but I really never knew him to the magnitude of anything. He was just a name to me. There was no emotion, there's no feeling, there's no nothing. There was no attachment. But in my mind, it was like, you know what? I need to do this in order for closure. And I suggest a lot of people in my life today learn that we may need closure. For those who understand, you might need some form of closure. And I'm going to be honest with you. I needed closure. So I went to go meet him. And after I met him, it was very emotional. As I said, very, very emotional. A couple days later, me and the girl I was with at the time got into an argument. And when we got into an argument, first thing she said to me was, "You would be a real man if you grew up with your father." Let me go on the record and say this one more time. She said, "You would be a real man if you grew up with your father." But let me go on the record and say this. I didn't grow up without my father because of choice. I grew up for the fact that he didn't take care of me, right? So right there's the trauma. And this is what black people, I'm sorry, black people, we got to acknowledge that. Trauma is real, right? PTSD is real, right? It's real. There are people that have a lot of trauma that we don't want to acknowledge because we're not taught these problems. We're not taught about trauma. We're not taught about mental illness. We're not taught about these things. You know, this is a problem. We need to really learn and read up on psychology. We need to learn how the human brain functions. So now, me having this trauma, right, and trusting her for one of my most vulnerable moments to bring her to me with me to this event or to this meetup for quote unquote the closure of a door that's been wide open for many years. This door has been this wide, and I needed to close it in order to get rid of some of my aggression. So after she met him with me, she brought up the fact that you're not a real man because you didn't grow up with your father. Listen to that narrative, ladies and gentlemen. That is horrible. That you will use a very vulnerable moment to make me feel like I'm less of a man because you're mad. Ladies, I'm gonna go on record and say that y'all do that a lot. Y'all do that a lot. And your justification is not because of something he's done in the past. That is so immature. And a lot of women need to grow up. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the problem. And I'm gonna tell women the truth. Whether y'all wanna hear this or not, it's entirely up to you. Men will love you wholeheartedly. And women, I understand y'all think the same way. A man can love you wholeheartedly but have absolutely no respect for you. And the respect comes from the words that you say, the things you said over time, right? Men don't give light to the magnitude of how we should. The things that you guys say definitely hurt more than you think. You'll say things to the man like, yo, if you was a real man, that hurts and it causes trauma, right? You bring up the fact of his shortcomings. Bringing up a man's shortcomings don't make you tough. It shows that you're weak because you're only using his vulnerability against him because you're very immature. You can speak your piece, set your point without going so deep. Ladies, y'all go for the juggler when talking to men. And it's extreme, right? Now, this man may love you, but yet and still have absolutely no respect for you. And the reason being is because you go too far. A lot of women go too far when it comes to arguing. Right? And if you have a man like that, that's more like that's not a masculine trait. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most real men say how they feel and they get it moving. But women shoot for the juggler. That go too far. Now you're creating trauma, right? So let me ask y'all a question now. The topic today is your mate really satisfying you? Are you really satisfied? Right? And this is a conversation we need to have. There are a lot of people who are very unsatisfied emotionally. You know, they say, when I was growing up, they say for a woman, a shoulder to cry on can become a hard penis to ride on. I'm going to call it what it is. And the reason being is because women are emotional. And a lot of men play on their emotion because of the fact they learn how to manipulate them. Ladies, if you're talking to a man and a man knows you're in a relationship and you're entertaining another man, chances are the other man don't think that you're a good woman if you're entertaining him. Chances are he's going to pretend to be something he's extremely not in order to get what he wants from you. And chances are it's sex. So he's going to pretend to not, you know what, you're a good woman. You know, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. And I would never put you through that. Of course he's saying that because your relationship is not true. It's not real. It's not fully invested. So ladies, I suggest if you decide or you entertain a man that has, quote unquote, you're entertaining a man while you have a man, I suggest you leave the other man first so you can be open-minded and really receive him and see what it is. Because if you're creeping, the relationship is always easier because it's not fully investment. You're not fully invested. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of women that use a lot of nasty moments to hurt the mate. And I'm going to be honest. I've seen it tons of times, right? Let's call in somebody. Somebody come give me their time where they felt like they were being unsatisfied or if they're currently being unsatisfied in their relationships. Call right now, 516-246-5637. 5172. There's tons of times where a lot of people are very unsatisfied. And the reason being is because society tells you as a man, you're not a man if you speak up. You're not a man if you say how you feel. You're not a man if you tell the truth. Ladies, you have to be able to listen to your man too. You want our undivided attention, but yet and still, when we tell you how we feel, we don't get your undivided attention because you always make things about you. That don't work like that. If you want somebody to hear you, you got to be able to hear them. And that's reality. If you're not willing to hear someone, why would they want to listen to you? We need to learn communication and how to communicate. Healthy communication. A lot of us don't know how to communicate healthy because every time we talk about the man and woman thing, we make everything about the woman or the man. Get out your feelings. Anybody on my live right now, if you're saying not all men are like this and not, that means you're the one. You're the problem. Listen to the advice and stop making everything so personal. This is the problem we have. If I put something on TikTok and that's pertaining to men, the men on there talking about, well, women do the same thing. You sound like a child. Grow up. Big old rusty grown-ups crying about the fact that men and women do these things. If I put up something about a man, if we're talking about men, yo, just eat it. Stomach it. It's okay. Let me guess. In order to defend yourself, you have to deflect. And deflecting is telling you that someone else does it also. That is deflecting. That's what children do. And it's been like that since the beginning of time. Children ultimately always bring up something that someone else has done to accommodate what they just done. If you hit a child, chances are, guess what a child gonna say? He hit me first. That's how you sound like as adults. Big old children. You gotta get out your feelings. You gotta be able to sit down and stomach that right now you're currently wrong. And that's what we don't do. I'm gonna take this caller right now. Caller. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right. So I was watching your live, right?
Okay.
And I have a question.
Yes.
Last night, I do have a man,
Okay.
but I slept with a female last night.
Wow.
Do you consider that cheating?
100%. Do you
Why?
consider?
Because
My question is,
nobody's penetrated me.
no, but you still cheated.
It's not cheating if it wasn't with another man.
It wasn't with another man, but how does he feel about that?
He doesn't know.
But if he found out, how would he feel?
I don't know. I'm asking a male. That's what I'm asking a male, another man's opinion.
I think it depends on the rules that you guys set when y'all first started dating, right? If he knew that you was into women and you told him this in the beginning, see, that's the problem we don't do. We don't tell the truth in the beginning. I think you should let a person know you and they should choose.
No, he knew that.
So he knows
We
that
didn't,
he knows that you entertain
yeah,
other women while you with him?
but not while I'm with him.
So then that's not the case then. See,
I mean, he knows that I'm into women.
no, but
He
that's still
knows
not the
that.
same thing though. Knowing that you're into women is one
How?
thing. Listen, knowing that you're into women, that's one thing. But to know that you actually dealing with women while you're currently in a situation with him, I don't think he understands or know that.
Only did it one time.
Still cheating. If he went and slept with a woman
Nah,
one time, what would you say? He cheated, right?
that's different. He's penetrating her.
It
There's
doesn't.
no penetration when there's two women.
You cheated. I'm going to tell you the truth. You definitely cheated, and I'm pretty sure if you
No, I didn't.
no, you definitely did. You know, I'm not
There
trying.
was listen. He was the last man that penetrated me. So with me sleeping with a woman, I don't think that's cheating.
What I don't want to get into details, but being
Hmm.
honest, if you are doing anything behind your partner's back without wanting them to know, it's cheating. Cheating could even be conversations. Having certain conversations with a person but not trying to allow them to know is cheating. That's why you're moving sneaky because you know you're cheating, right?
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure if he finds out, he's gonna say you cheated on him. Would you agree?
I guess.
No, there's no guess. We got to get to the bottom of this. Like we're being honest. You wanted my opinion, right?
Yeah, I did.
What's his name?
Kenneth.
Let's pretend I'm Kenneth, right?
Um,
I find out that you cheated on me or you were intimate with a girl last night. That's definitely cheating.
or would you be mad that you wasn't there?
Preference thing, that's a preference thing what certain guys gotta accept. Certain guys might not care. Certain guys will. But I think that's a conversation that y'all should have had in the beginning. If you knew that you were into women and you still want to entertain women, I think you should have let him know that.
But he knew that too. He's been knowing
No,
for
he don't know
years.
that you
Like,
still mess with other women behind his back. I don't think he knows that.
but no, no. Listen to me. Last night was the first time
You
out
justifying
of all
cheating.
these
I'm being honest
years.
with you. You justifying cheating. It doesn't matter if it was
How
once,
was
twice,
that?
or 10 times, it's still done. Cheating is cheating.
Okay,
I'm
what's
not,
cheating? Cheating is when you start dealing with somebody else
no,
outside the relationship.
yes. And then you move secretly because you don't want them to find out. Would you want him to find out?
Um,
Honestly,
no,
why wouldn't you want
I
him to
don't
find?
know.
Why wouldn't you want him to find out?
And okay, so in
No,
a way, I
no, answer that
would
question
because
first.
I don't think. I
You would want him to find
Why
out?
wouldn't I want him?
No, I'm
Huh?
asking you right now. Would you want him to find out that you was intimate with the girl last night?
Hmm. Yes and no. Because one part of me feels like I wasn't cheating. It wasn't with another man, and then the other part is it's just a woman.
It doesn't matter. And
Why would you get mad over a woman, another woman?
I hear your point, but the truth of the matter is, it's the point of it is really like not allowing him to know the sneaking. And I'm pretty sure after sneaking around becomes lying, right?
After sneaking around?
We start lying. When we sneaking around with somebody else, we start lying to our mates. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. Yeah,
So
you're right.
there's definitely some form of betrayal there.
Um,
And it's also selfish on your end because if you was honest about it, like, yo, this is what it is, and this is what I want to do, by giving someone choice, is that's when you're loyal. When a person say I'm loyal, I'm faithful, you have to give someone a choice. There are people that allow their mates to go cheat. They allow it. But you have to get a person that's comfortable with that. But not giving choice is where the unfairness is.
but I don't. I hear you.
You know? But it's just
Okay, so
that,
I cheated.
now you definitely did. I'm being honest with you. You definitely cheated.
All right,
I
well,
appreciate you so
that's
much.
fine. All right.
All right. Someone call in right now, and I want someone to actually answer that. Do you think she cheated or not? She said it was with a woman, so she said she feels like it wasn't cheating. So I want someone to call in. In my mind, I think she definitely cheated. Right? Someone call in right now, 516-246-5172. 516-246-5172. Someone call in right now, and I want to hear someone's opinion about the last caller we just had. In my mind, I definitely think it's cheating because it's the fact that you're not allowing your mate to know the truth. Anything you do, if I sneak around on a phone with another woman, that's cheating because the fact that you don't want people to know, your mate to know, that's cheating, right? Everyone's saying, yes, she cheated. She definitely cheated. She cheated. She cheated. I'm seeing that all over you. She cheated. She cheated. But I want someone to call in and give me a logical explanation on why do you feel either she cheated or she didn't cheat, right? I'm gonna tell you. See, that's the issue that we have now. It's like, is the conversation should have been had, right? If you explain it to the person, like, this is what I'm into, a person has no choice but to respect that, right? If you said, look, at times I'm gonna entertain women and this is what I want. And the person would have no choice but to respect it if that's what they wanted and they wanted to move forward with you. But anytime you gotta move sneaky and hiding things and deleting text messages and downloading secret apps, and you're cheating. Someone call in right now. Let's talk about it. 516-246-5172. 516-246-5172. Someone call in right now. Right? This is the problem we have now. I'm asking a question. We got another caller, guys. Let's see who this is. Let's answer this caller. We answered another caller, guys. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hello.
How you doing, caller?
That lady, I'm good.
Who am I speaking to?
Look, this is Andrea.
Andrea, what's going on? How you feel about that?
That lady sounds too grown to think that she wasn't cheating. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, if you're having just like you said, any conversations that are inappropriate, anything that can't be done in the presence of your spouse, it's called cheating. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're outside talking to your neighbor, and then when your spouse pulls up, all of a sudden you can't talk to your neighbor anymore. Something's going on with you two that shouldn't be going on.
I agree 100%.
That's inappropriate. That's my take on it. It's cheating.
So if the roles were reversed, well, I can't even say that. But let's say you were into women, and your girl dated a girl. Wouldn't that be cheating still?
It's still cheating.
It is.
I don't care what. I don't care if it's male, female. I don't care which way you put it. I don't care if it was a horse. If you can't do it in front of your spouse, it's cheating.
Valid point.
Any type of relationship that you're having that your spouse cannot be in the presence of is cheating.
Definitely cheating.
But you'll have situations with a lot of spouses where, like, they laugh and joke with coworkers and stuff. And I'll give you a prime example. As a matter of fact, I had a coworker who used to flirt with me. This went on for like 6 months.
Wow.
So where other people on my team were like, "Yo, that dude, he really likes you. Why aren't you interested in him?" I'm like, he's not my type. Literally had conversations about our kids and everything. Both of our kids were in college. Everything. 6 months. And then one day, just so happened that we were talking about something, and he was like, "Yeah, my wedding." And I was like, "Wait a minute, your wedding?" In 6 months that I have been working with the dude, he never once even mentioned that he had a fiance or anything.
So
and I'm like,
you know what they call that, right? Don't they call that a work wife? Or work husband?
No, I wasn't his work wife. I wasn't his work wife or anything like that. But to be having conversations like that, and you don't even mention that you have, like, nobody even knew that he had a fiance or anything.
Yeah.
And thought that he was, to the point where they thought that he was interested in me. And I'm like, wow, this is the deceiving that's going on around here. This is what people are doing to people, and it's not cool.
So my question is, if you would have entertained it and moved it further, you think you would have went further?
Oh, most definitely.
Wow.
Most definitely. Because I think a lot of people, both men and women, because I've seen it played both ways. I'm in my 40s, so I've seen it played both ways, where women will come into the workplace and people don't know that she's in a relationship or married.
Agreed.
There was a woman that I worked with, as a matter of fact, who was carrying on a full-on, like, flirting type situation with a married guy. And everybody thought that she was single and knew it was inappropriate because he was married. But come to find out, she was also in a full relationship.
Wow.
So both of them were kind of wrong in there, because it's like you don't carry on like that. Because if your spouses were here, they would not approve of this.
I agree 100%.
So to me, that's cheating. Anything that your spouse would not approve of if they were in that space, it's cheating.
I agree 100%. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I agree 100%. I knew when I was cheating.
And that's perspective on it.
And the funny thing is, I know people know when they're cheating, because that's when they know they should start hiding things. That's when you know you're cheating.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you're not cheating,
exactly.
You ever been? I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to be a cheater bad when I was younger, to the point where even with my girl at the time was walking the room, I would jump like I'm doing something, even when I wasn't doing nothing. It started killing my nerves. I started getting nervous.
Yeah.
It plays a part on. It plays a role on you, right? But you're 100% right. I think flirting, all that is cheating. It's all cheating. Are you right?
Yeah. And sometimes you could just be honest with your spouse, because, like, I know I had a situation it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then.
Okay.
But I was at the end. We were at the end of our marriage. My ex-husband and I were together when we were young,
Yeah.
but we were at the end of like our marriage, and to the point where we just got on each other's nerves. And he was like, "Yeah, this girl at work was flirting with me, and it went a little bit too far." I guess he wanted to see what my reaction was. I was like, "I don't give a damn. Just tell her to do a good job. You know what I'm saying? So you can leave me the hell alone."
Wow.
And it now that I look, I laugh at it now, but I'm like, if you just be honest, like he was honest about it, but I was at the point where, it was over anyway, so I didn't care. I'm like, I don't care what the hell you do. Tell her to do a good job. Bye. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this.
You give people that.
Go ahead.
You give people that. You give people that. Be honest with people and let them know, because like he was upfront with me, like she's flirting with me, blah blah blah, and all of this and that, and I'm like, okay, like I don't care. Like this is over. Like. So I don't care what that happened. But if we were at a place in our marriage where, like we were still connected and things like that, it would have been a whole different story.
Makes sense.
But he was honest with me.
Makes sense.
He didn't try to hide it. He didn't lie about it.
I will say
he
this
told
though.
me what was going on. But
most men do lie because I'm just being honest. You have some advocate liars. Some men are just real liars. They lie about everything.
Yeah.
But then you have men. You have men that lie because in their mind they genuinely think they're protecting their mate's feelings. Because sometimes women ask questions that they really don't want the answer to. So the man like, damn, if I say this, it's gonna go left. If I lie, maybe I can get around it or get away from it. So some men don't lie because they're liars, because they know you can't stomach the truth. So they lie because they don't want to fight.
Yeah.
And I've seen both cases.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. That's true. That's true. But I don't want my feelings protected. Tell me the truth and give me the option.
Listen, some people say that, but then when you do, they tend to go left. So, we have to be mature about it when we're having a conversation. The person that you're dating has to feel comfortable enough to tell you the truth because you're receptive, right? Because sometimes it's really shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
Shoot the messenger. The messenger tell you something, chew him up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the other option, just don't stop doing stuff that you don't have no business doing when you're in a relationship.
I agree.
Get
100%.
out of a relationship. That's what I did. I got out of it, and I'm free to do what I want to do, and he is too.
I agree 100%.
So yeah, that's my take on it.
Thank you so much, Cola. I appreciate you so much.
You're free. All right, no problem.
Listen, guys, she's right. We do this all the time. There's a lot of things going on in the workforce. Someone just asked a question a minute ago. When did that start? Another caller? Someone that just called in, call back. 516-246-5172. If you got something on this topic right now, call in right now. 516-246-5172. Call in right now. See, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the times when you're talking to people, it's complex because everything is not plain cut and dry. But I'm going to tell you something. A relationship should be about comfortability. And you should allow yourself to be vulnerable, or the person can come tell you the truth. See, me, in most cases of the relationships I've been in, if a woman would ask you, like, yo, did she flirt with you? I would say no. Why? Because I know that she's going to overreact. And her overreacting is embarrassing. So therefore, I won't tell her, because it's not that I'm trying to hide it from you. It's just you're not mature enough to receive it. So therefore, I lie. I'm not lying because I'm a liar. I'm lying because you're not mature enough to hear the truth. And I know a lot of men who are not liars who get called liars because you're not mature enough to handle the truth, right? And some women lie to men because they know for a fact that if she tells him that this guy likes her at her job, he's going to either A, get very insecure or very jealous. So therefore, she's like, look, I know my comfort levels. I'm not going to entertain them. So guess what? I'm going to just say no. Is she really lying, or she's doing something to protect the fact that she's worried about her income? See, it can go both ways, and this is what we need to talk about. Everything is not black and white all the time. Sometimes you have gray areas, right? Someone call in right now, 516-246-5172. Once again, 516-246-5172. I want to ask y'all, though, are you satisfied in your relationships? Or your past relationships? What made you unsatisfied, right? Agreed. Someone said telling lies is never okay. No one said it's okay, but I understand why. I never said telling a lie is okay, guys. I said I understand why some people tell lies. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hey, how are you?
Turn down my live. What's going on, Cole? How are you?
Okay, how's that?
That's perfect. How are you?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you a little situation
Okay.
that I found myself in.
Okay.
Based on the topic of deflection.
Okay.
You know, I was involved with a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she would always say that I'm hiding something from her,
Mm-hmm.
even though I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
She would always bring up, you know, in the past, you know, you had an ex-girlfriend call you while you were at my house. I said, but yes, she called me. My number's been the same for the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
She called me. You were right there. I took the call in your presence,
Mm-hmm.
but you keep bringing that up. She used that situation. So I'm going to shorten the story.
Okay.
To end up becoming pregnant by another man,
Wow.
and saying that I caused her to get pregnant because I would not allow my exes to get out of our relationship.
Mm.
I said, show me where I reached out to them.
Mm.
Just show me where I've ever reached out to them.
Mm. Let me ask you a question. Are you and her still, y'all still together?
Absolutely not.
Brother, and I'm going to be honest with you. Let me give you a round of applause for getting the hell out of there. Because I'm going to tell you something. That is the definition and the epitome of a narcissist. Women can be narcissists also. Look at what she just did. She tried to play him against himself by saying, I only cheated and got pregnant with another man because you answered a phone call on your ex because your ex called you. Listen, if she's dating you and she's not secure, she shouldn't even be dating because sometimes we move on too fast when we know we haven't healed. And that woman sounds very broken. And I want to thank you for getting out of that situation because that sounds sick.
Yep. I actually talked to the guy who she was impregnated by.
Yes.
He said she was door dashing when he met her.
Wow.
So he met her door dashing.
So she,
and as far as he knew, she was not involved with anybody.
wow.
He just was shooting his shot.
So it ain't his fault, you know. At the end of the day,
it's not his fault at all.
But I will say that she's his problem now.
Yeah, true.
You know, he got a narcissist baby mother. You know, but thank God you was able to get out of it because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's very narcissistic traits right there. You know, the deflecting, the using you against yourself. It's like crazy. Gaslighting and all that's crazy. I only got pregnant with this guy because your ex called your phone. What?
Yeah.
That's
well, the actual explanation was, you got women calling your phone. Well, okay, where am I reaching out to them? I'm not reaching out to them. They're reaching out to me.
Yeah.
My number's been the same for the last 20 years. Now, if there was an issue, all you had to do is say, look, that's an issue for me. Why don't you just change your number?
That's true.
I would have pushed back.
Yeah.
But I might have done that.
Thank God you
You
did
understand what I'm saying?
Thank God you did
I would have pushed back, but yeah, because when you have a phone number for 20 years, you know how many people it is that have your number that you don't even communicate with regularly?
Yeah.
So yes, I would have pushed back against it, but I may have obliged because of the way I felt about it.
Yeah. I'm just happy that you figured it out because, like I'm saying in life, when people show you who they are, believe it, and that's extreme. Like she's
Amen.
extreme. She's extreme. Like that don't even make sense. I could see if she said, you cheated on me. I caught you cheating red-handed, so I cheated, and this what happens. I can understand something like that, even though it's both parties are wrong, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
But to say a phone call came in and you got pregnant, we justifying a phone
call?
And
here's the other part about it.
Yeah.
The reason why I found out about this person was because we were in her car, and her phone went off, and I said, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? That's writing your phone because the name came up on the dash.
What is that? DoorDash?
So no, not DoorDash. The dash of her car.
No, I was being funny.
You know, the car will answer the phone.
Yeah.
So he called her when I was with her.
But there's an old saying, what's done in the dark will always show in the light. And the reason why,
Amen.
but,
Amen.
but that's why she kept accusing you, because she knew what she was
Mhm.
doing. And that's what people
Yeah.
do. When they know they're doing wrong, they tend to like push it on you because they know they're doing wrong. So in order to protect what they're doing wrong, they got to make you guilty at something you're doing wrong. That's narcissist stuff, bro. That's their traits.
Yep.
I'm happy you were able to get out of there, man. Let me give it up to my guy, man. He was able to
Yeah.
get out of there, man. He was able to get out of there. Listen, that's crazy. My guy, I appreciate you so much.
All right.
Listen, that's extreme, man. Like, she really believed that her justification of getting pregnant was because he had old women calling his phone. Not because she's seen anything, right? We have to understand, guys, if you meet me at 30 years old, I got 30 years of existence before you came on earth. So now you're my girlfriend in my 30th year. I mean, 30 years of existing. I have a lot of relationships, people I know, right? And it's extreme for you to just say, cut off everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. I know people that are so comfortable in their relationship because they're comfortable with themselves. See, you can't be comfortable in a relationship if you're not comfortable with yourself. That's a reality. If you're in a relationship and you're not comfortable with yourself, you're going to ultimately push that energy on your mate. Always accusing, always questioning, always looking into what they got going on. Why is that? Because of the fact that you know for a fact that you're not doing the right thing. Someone asked me, am I married? No, I'm actually a divorce. I've been divorced for a little while now, But this is the truth. When you sit down and have these conversations, a lot of people do these things. Someone call in 516 246 5172. One more time, 516 246 5172. Tell me a story, guys. I want to hear something. That was crazy. That last call was crazy. And you get these things a lot. A lot of people learn how to deflect, and it becomes a defense mechanism. Deflecting is a defense mechanism. Deflecting is never addressing the issue, but creating a new issue so you don't have to address the issue. That's deflecting. Let me say that one more time. A lot of people have learned how to deflect. Deflecting is creating an issue, like there's an issue currently, but I'm going to create another issue so I don't have to address this issue. So if I approach you with the issue, you're going to create another issue so that we never even resolve the issue that I already had. That's deflecting. You don't want to hear truth. There are a lot of people that deflect that way. And this become a normal characteristical trait now. People are deflecting, they're being defensive. Everything is put on your shield and your sword and defend yourself rather than learning how to listen. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for men to understand women, a lot of women on my live right now, and I want y'all to answer this. For those who follow me regularly, I want to ask you a question. And I'm going to answer this right after I ask you this question. For those who are on my live right now and believe that I understand women, let me get a raise of a hand. They believe I understand them. Let me see this. Right? My guys in the studio raise their hands. Let me see, guys. If you think I understand women, raise your hand. Miss E raised her hand. Miss E raised, only one person believes that I understand. Another person, Daria Jones raised their hand. Right? And I'm going to tell you why I understand women. This is my truth. Beautiful Ball raised their hand. You have some understanding of women. I'll take that. I'll take it. But here's the logic. The reason why I understand women, and I'm going to say this on live. The reason why I have some form of understanding of women is because I talk to a lot of women and I listen to them. Ladies, a lot of women don't understand men because honestly, they don't listen to them. So some men don't tell them anything because they're not going to listen to them anyway. There are a lot of men that are in relationships right now who feel very undervalued. Some men don't cheat on you because of the fact that you're not, he's not happy, he just feels undervalued. And again, in this market that we live in today, there are not a lot of good men. So ladies on my live, if you have a good man, you better hold on to him. And I don't want to say this and somebody get very defensive, but it's the truth. It is easier for a man to find a good woman than it is for a woman to find a good man. And if those who are in denial, they're lying. Because if you're looking at Beyonce and you're comparing Beyonce to somebody that's regular, then you're bugging. Beyonce can find another man easy. She's Beyonce and she's worth about $300, $400, $500 million, right? Very attractive woman, worth a hell of a lot of money, right? We just being honest. But for a man to go back on the dating market, it is so much easier for a man to find a woman than it is for a woman to find a man, especially a good woman. A man can find a good woman way faster than a woman can find a good man. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this live, if you know that you have a good man or talking to a good man, I suggest you learn how to keep your good man. One thing I've noticed that people learn how to do, they learn how to keep their jobs, but they don't learn how to keep their mates. And that's crazy. You know, you've learned how to keep your job, but you don't learn how to keep your mate. And that's for men and women. We got to learn how to keep each other. Because again, don't wow me with all the things you do in the beginning. I got a story that I'm going to say this, right? And I hate to say this, beautiful boy, don't take it personal. I prefer single. Some people say that because everything they've dated was bad. So now they say that they prefer single. Preferably, you prefer a real man. But sometimes when you put that energy in the world, you ultimately end up being single because of the fact that you're putting that to the universe. Be conscious of what you put to the universe. Rather than saying, I prefer to be single, you should be saying, I prefer a real man. Put that to the universe, right? Because a lot of times we say things, oh, I can do it by myself, and you wonder why you're doing it by yourself. Oh, I don't need a man. You wonder why you dating boys. Because you didn't say you don't need a boy. You say you don't need a man. Say the word again, a man. So the fact that you keep telling the universe you don't want a man, you're never getting a man, you're getting boys. That's the problem. But you don't notice that. Because words give life. And when you keep saying things, you're going to keep getting these things. Notice the women don't say, oh, I can do it by myself. I don't need a man. Listen to the word. Man. That's why you keep being approached by boys. Because in reality, you need to stop saying, I don't need a man. I don't want a boy. I want a man. I want a man. Because a man comes and elevates. A man comes and builds. A man don't take from what's there. He brings more there. So when you say man, you got to understand the term man. Because I see in 2023, we put everything in the same box. You got your dishes, your drawers, your clothes, your towels, everything in one box. Let's take these little boys and these men and put them in two different boxes. A man and a boy ain't the same. So stop saying this, I don't want a man, I don't need a man crap. That's why you ain't getting a man. And it's a defense mechanism by saying that. Most women that say they don't need a man is either A, because they're extremely single, or B, they don't find good men. So this is why they say it, because it becomes a defense mechanism. That's how you defend yourself. In order to feel good about your situation, you'll say something like, I don't do it, I do it by myself. Yes, you don't have a choice. So you've been doing it by yourself. But let's stop pushing this negative energy to the universe. Ultimately, constantly getting the same results because of that. All right, someone call in 516-246-5172. Let me get one more caller, 516-246-5172. See, when we talk about these things, a lot of people get mad. Yes, it is the power of the tongue. A lot of people don't understand life and death lies in the tongue. You speaking life into your life with the bad things you're saying over life, about the things you don't want. Let's answer this caller, guys. We're going to answer this caller right now. Caller, what's going on, caller?
What's up with you?
Caller.
What up, Q?
What's going on, boss?
Sam, I want to take you back to the very beginning of my situation for it.
Okay.
Briefly.
Okay.
All right. So I was with the girl for 15 years.
Okay.
I started getting on my little road to riches, and when we get on that road, we barely have time for them. We start feeling insecure within ourselves, like she don't leave me anyway. I'm too busy, or somebody else gonna occupy her time. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I told her, like, listen, I'd rather you go back to your mother than I come back and find you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, being a man, a month later, I got another girl pregnant.
Okay.
All right. Well, I had to make the choice. Do I put a girl back in, or do I handle my business as a man and take care of these kids? Even though this is only supposed to be a one night thing.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
I hung in there and I took care of my kids and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I built a fence around this girl, took care of her, whatever, with my kids.
Okay.
Well, I had to slow down. I had to slow down on the household just to get back to the money. You know what I mean? Well, now me getting back to the money is the biggest problem ever. You
Why
don't
is that?
spend time. You don't spend time. Huh?
Oh, it's the same girl we talking about?
The side chick that got pregnant.
Okay. Now she's complaining about you not spending enough
You-
time?
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain to her, like, you met me in a certain transition in my life to where I'm supposed to be able to just keep going. You know what I mean? Even if we had a kid, your situation, her situation, you don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't have nothing. Pot to piss in, bread to feed the kids. You don't have nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to get out here and run around.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it because you already know you you already know the outcome of two people having nothing raising kids.
Agreed.
We finna sit up here and be on government assistance and whine and look at each other all day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I told her, like, I gotta go get back to it. She decides, you know what, you're not working to be around your kids.
Mm.
There's this big issue women are having where they know this is what it requires for a man to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
But their personal feelings and greed, it bleeds men to a different level to where, man, how do you do the two? Am I supposed to go work 40 hours for somebody? Go work 40 hours for somebody and not actually be able to actually support my family? Or am I supposed to get out here and go get to the bag and make sure my family's straight? You see what I'm saying?
I agree. I understand exactly what
So
you're saying. But
if
you
I'm
know,
confused in the midst, go
okay.
ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you say you're confused?
Like, go ahead. I was listening to you.
No, but you know, like for me, sometimes in life we do what we got to do so we can do what we want to do. And I don't knock a person. I knock a person that's not a person that's doing what he got to do to feed his family. I knock a person that's not doing what he got to do to feed his family, right? But in reality, you trying to change the situation for your family. I understand that, right? But again, sometimes in life we grow apart because of the fact that it's two people, they start speaking two different languages. Some people are
Correct.
comfortable living off government assistance and barely having, and they like that because they get to lay in their misery together, right? Because they got a term that a lot of people need to read. It's called trauma bonding. They bond in their traumas,
Mm.
so they date because they both have traumas and they bond together. And that's why some people are the way they are as far as relationships. But you got to be conscious enough to understand if you're not being your better self, your kids can't enjoy you being a better self, and that's the reality.
Well, hold on. See, now here's my problem coming in. I don't know if it's too late for her to see it or not, right?
Hmm.
But the first 2 years of grinding hard, you get your little business or whatever. The first 2 years, you win there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then you start actually being able to pull your time back. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
I just ruptured my Achilles. I ruptured my Achilles, right?
Hmm.
So now I'm fully at home.
Hmm.
I'm fully at home. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was gonna sit here these last few months. I spent time with my daughter. Well, my daughter, she was living with me because I hate to know on her that she wanted to act stupid.
Okay.
But it's like no matter which version of a man you shift into, it seems a woman will never be satisfied because her feelings are always on E.
Can I say something to you though?
Then, yeah,
Sometimes the comparison is wrong. A woman would appreciate a man that's out there getting it and doing what he got to do for his family. But sometimes we compare the
right.
girls to the women and we compare the boys to the men, right? In reality, I don't see a real woman, crying about a man working hard to put his family in a better position. A little girl would do that, right?
Right.
Like your daughter would do that because she don't understand bills and responsibilities. But if a woman that still don't understand bills and responsibilities, she's still a child and has a mentality of a little girl. Because big women don't think like that. They be like, my man out there getting it so we could be okay. That's what a real woman would say.
Mm, mm, mm. It's wild. I don't know, man. To me, like I said, to me, it's wild. But what's the sick part about it though?
Uh-huh.
Every story I hear, right? Even with the lady that was just talking about cheating, confused on if she cheated me about it, right?
Agreed.
Why is it when a situation is reversed, somehow the women find a way out of it to where they always their answer is always the one that's supposed to be right.
It depends on how they see what it is. Look at the culture. Most of us grew up having to defend ourselves. So we don't know when someone is actually trying to help us and someone trying to hurt us. We go through our whole life
Right.
trying to defend ourselves. And now it becomes a natural instinct to the point where men and women, you can't hear anything because of the fact that we've always had to defend ourselves. And now you're trying to help a person, they still thinking that they got to defend themselves. That's the problem. It's like that not knowing when to turn it on and off because it's been indoctrinated into the culture to the points where everything is deflection, defense, and feelings, right? And opinion. It's never about, oh, is this person trying to help me or this person trying to hurt me? What is it? Learning the difference, right?
Mm. Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you though, but I know women that go through their stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Hold on, let me see the right way to say this. Women that go through their stuff, right? But I try not to blame. I try not to blame the person. I like to blame the situation.
Agreed.
A woman that gets Section 8, food stamps and all that stuff, she's not going to understand the troubles of a woman that works. So when them two birds they cross each other, she don't want to run back to. She don't want to run to the actual way of life. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep it
She
100
rather
with you.
create this dependency. Yeah.
I'm gonna be your brother right now, and this is me being 100% honest.
Yeah.
The Bible, Proverbs 31 says, I think it's verse 3. It's basically talking about how a man will lose himself by chasing behind a woman. A man is supposed to build himself up, and a woman is supposed to fit into the building of the man. When a man is
Right.
trying to pull up a woman, he's doing too much. You're already providing for the woman, and you're also trying to nurture. When you're doing both roles, you're gonna burn out because it's like taking a candle and burning it at both ends. The candle never rests, and that's what you're gonna do. You're not supposed to be a nurturer and a provider for a woman. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be some form of balance, and when it's too much, it will wear on you. So what you're supposed to do is run your race, become your better self, and whoever's there while you're doing it, that's who's meant to be your woman.
Right. But I need this, man. I appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you too, my guy.
Yeah.
But guys, that's what it is. A real man understands that you have to run your race. And my brother that was just on live with me, yo, bro, you need to run your race. Complete your race. You're clearly sitting in a situation where you're looking at yourself like, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing, right? He wants more. And that's a beautiful thing when a human wants more. A man is supposed to provide, right? It's all in the Bible. It's in every book in religion, right? A man is supposed to provide. So as a man, talking to another man, go run your race, my brother. Go get everything you want to bring your children to and teach your children better by going get better, right? And as a father, your child seeing my dad do this, it's gonna say a lot. If it's a little girl or a little boy, they're gonna see that and ultimately understand what it is to be a man or what it is to have a father. Or knowing a woman, a little girl seeing her dad bust his behind and position himself, she'll learn what a man is, right? A little boy seeing his dad work hard tells him how a man is supposed to behave. So, Dad, you got to run your race. Understand that if she doesn't end at that finish line when you get there, she was never meant to be there, right? At certain points, we got to understand that we may have held on to someone too long, and that's the issue. A lot of us hold on to people way too long, right? And that's a major dilemma, right? And a lot of us hold on to people way too long, and and that's what we do. We hold on to people, ultimately trying to make someone they're not, right? I'm a man, and I hate to say this. Any woman that don't understand me will take this extremely personal. I will never stop running my race, right, to drag a woman or a dead body to a finish line. That is not the role of a man, because in reality, you're supposed to finish your race, complete yourself, push yourself, become the best you. And women will naturally be attracted to that. Women are attracted to men who pursue their greater selves. Little girls are distractions from the men becoming their greater selves. A woman will become an asset to a man that's pursuing his better self, and that's a wife. The difference is we hold on to little girls and we're like, yo, this girl, because I'm insecure. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that my life is not where I want it to be. And your life will never be where you want it to be if you keep entertaining girls. We got to learn what a woman is. We got to learn what a man is. A lot of us still don't know what that is and what that entails. Because a lot of us didn't grow up with great examples. And again, if you're not exposed, you won't expand. The mind is exposed, so it expands. If the mind isn't exposed, the mind won't expand. And most people haven't expanded because of the fact their mind wasn't exposed. If you have a woman or a man who did not see marriage, they don't respect marriage or understand it. Because the Bible says a man or a woman that finds a husband or a wife, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. And you're supposed to find your wife. And your wife is supposed to come along on a journey and help you pursue becoming your better self. That's the reality. Your wife is supposed to be your helpmate, not your distraction, because we're insecure. I date her because she got a big butt. The only thing you see about her is her big butt. She can't read through a Cat in the Hat book, but you talking about she got a big butt. Who cares about that? It don't matter. The value is not that. The value is in pursuing. The value is in becoming. The value is in you chasing. The value is you hunting and killing the prey that you need to kill so you can bring food to the table. That's what we need to learn how to do again. See, the men stop being hunters, and the sad part is, when the men stop being hunters, guess what happened? Our women picked up the shields and the swords and started hunting, ultimately adapting a lot of masculinity. And it wasn't their fault. It's because a lot of men didn't want to take on their roles. And when they didn't take on their roles, our women had to take on the roles. Now these women are strong. And in order for her to relinquish that shield and sword that she had to pick up, you're going to have to prove to her that you're worthy to lead her. Otherwise, she'll never see you as the man you think you are. And then we complain, these women are this and these women are that. No, brother, you need to step your game up. She will relinquish her role. I've never had a problem with a woman allowing me to lead in my existence. I've never had that problem. And the reason why is because I'm going to lead. And if she don't let me lead, we're actually going to leave each other. And it's that simple. And that's what we need to understand. So, guys, let me get one more phone call. A call in 516-246-5172 before we get out of here. One more phone caller. 516-246-5172. Let me get one more phone caller before we get out of here. Right? A man fights with his position in life as a man every day. But in your home, you shouldn't be fighting. And if you are fighting for your role in your house, it's because the woman don't see you as what you see yourself. Right? You talk this old strong, I'm a leader, but she don't see that. And a woman will naturally not allow you to lead if she don't see that. There's nothing you can say or do. You can yell, kick, scream, or punch, but it's not going to change the fact that she still see a little boy. You could yell, kick, scream, yell at her, disrespect her, but she still see a little boy. And the sad part is, by the yelling, you're giving her something called a temper tantrum. And by having a temper tantrum, you're only proving her point that you're still a little boy. And ladies, you got to understand what a woman looks like. A woman's role is not to fight a man and prove her masculinity to a man. That's not a woman's role. A woman's role is to build with her man, to be comfortable. You put it on a white beater, a tank top, and some basketball shorts, ladies, that'll make you a man. Y'all gotta understand that femininity is sexy to a real man. A lot of y'all say y'all want these alpha brothers or these strong brothers, but you too strong. You on the weight pits of life, right? Bench pressing more than him. Verbally with your mouths. Because the problem is a lot of women that talk that alpha super strong crap, y'all pick and choose when everyone needs to do it. Y'all pick and choose when y'all need to be strong. And then when things are not going the way y'all do, guess what? Y'all tuck y'all tail too. I've seen y'all do that tons of times also. Especially when y'all want to borrow money from a man, you know what you do? You become this weak girl again. Hey, Q. You think no alpha woman. Be strong. Go figure out how to do it. That's what we need to understand, guys. This whole battle of the sexes has become so nasty to the point where every time we talk about it, someone gets defensive and someone gets upset. Let me say this one more time. The battle of the sexes have gotten so bad to the point that anytime you say truth, someone will bring up something the opposite sex is doing to accommodate the sex that's doing it. If I sit here and say that a woman could never be a man and a man could never be a woman, Because God would have never made genders if that wasn't the case. And if that's the case, then clearly you're going against God. I respect anybody and their sexual preference. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is understanding who you are as a woman and understanding who you are as a man. My men, before I get out of here today, I'm going to say this. Y'all can get mad at me, I don't care. In order for a woman to relinquish the kingdom that she's built, right? In all due respect, she's built herself up. She has her own apartment. She has her own car. She has her things together. In order to accept that, she has to see you as a great leader. If this woman do not see you as a leader, she will never allow you to lead. So men, rather than complaining about our sisters, go run your race and become your better self and stop chasing vagina. And you'll see that you'll get better results. The man that chases vagina will always be broke. Always be broke. Only broke men chase women. I will never chase a woman in life because I'm too focused on me being my better self. My children don't win for me chasing girls. So for the women on this live right now and listening to this podcast, if you believe a man is supposed to chase a woman, that means that's why you keep dating bums. Because a man's job is not to chase you. A man's job is to respect you. A man's job is to love you. A man's job is to nurture you. To help you and provide for you. But a man's job is not to chase a woman. It's taken away from him having time to build. And a man that's not building, you'll see he's always aggressive. He's always angry. He's always unhappy. In order for the man to be happy, he has to build. He has to conquer. And that's the realities of life. Till next time, guys, let that go over your head.